Good morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 290. Please subscribe. We are completing our section of part 2 of the workbook. What is the Holy Spirit? It's the 7th section of part 2 of the workbook. And today's lesson is my present happiness is all I see. But I was immediately reminded of lesson 101, and perhaps you are as well, that's told me that God's will for me is perfect happiness, not just my present happiness, but my present perfect happiness. That is all I see, because that is God's will for me. It's what my Father wishes, desires, wants me to understand and to recognize. So the lesson begins with the more text portion and then goes into the prayer. And I just want to say that, I've mentioned the past couple of days how the lessons are weaving into each other that we have had, the past 5 in particular. But what I realize is that these lessons weave together and make perfect sense, whether it is forward, so starting from 286 or even 285 and going forward, or starting at today's lesson and going backward. That is the brilliance of this spiritual tapestry that we are weaving. The thread works forward and backward because there is no difference. The truth is true and nothing else indeed is true. So today's lesson, and we'll do that later, today's lesson, my present happiness is all I see, starts with, unless I look upon what is not there, my present happiness is all I see. So unless I'm looking at the past, trying to see the past, because in truth I cannot see it, the past is over, it can touch me not, but unless I'm trying to look at it, then all I can see is my present happiness. Eyes that begin to open see at last. Eyes that begin to use God's light. God is the light in which I see. And I would have Christ's vision come to me this very day. I want to use Christ's vision, Christ's corrected vision. Has nothing to do with LASIK, has nothing to do with glasses. Christ's corrected vision, Christ's vision, I use, and that is how I see the light everywhere, because that is how Christ sees all living things, with the light that resides within them and what they truly are. What I perceive without God's own correction for the sight I made is frightening and painful to behold. This world, this ego world, is filled with terror and loss and pain. It's filled with nightmares. It's filled with those sharp-edged toys that hurt me. That indeed is frightening and painful to look at. And we can see that in this world right now. Yet, I would not allow my mind to be deceived by the belief the dream I made is real an instant longer. I'm over this. That is Buster. I am over this world that I think is real. I am complete with the images that I have made, the frightening images and thoughts that I have made within my mind. I am ready to let them go, as we spoke of yesterday. This day I seek my present happiness and look on nothing else except the thing I seek, my perfect happiness. As we had in lesson 101, God's will for me is perfect happiness. Perfect happiness. Perfect happiness encompasses all that my Father wants for me, all that He desires. God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequences. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth, because there is no sin. No sin is no insanity. No sin is no ego. There is nothing but God and His creations. So my present perfect happiness is all I see. Now, to go backwards with these lessons that we've had, because we were gone forward with them. So my present happiness is all I see because the past is over and it can touch me not. Let me forgive or forget my brother's past today. The past is over. And you are my goal, Father, only you. And when I realize that you indeed are my goal, then the hush of heaven will truly hold my heart today. And then my holiness will shine bright and clear that very moment that I accept that that is who I am. And I can elect, I can make the decision to change all the thoughts that hurt, all those thoughts that hurt, that emanate from the past and my belief in it, because my true identity abides in you, Father. That is where I am at home, and I will not be afraid of love or of God today, because I realize that I can only be hurt by my own thoughts. So now to come back forward to today's lesson. In the prayer portion, it says, with this resolve that my present happiness is all I see and all I want and all I desire and all that I will have, with this resolve I come to you and ask your strength to hold me up today. Keep me in this mindset. Keep me in my holy mind. Help me to realize that indeed this is all I want, while I but seek to do your will. You cannot fail to hear me, Father. What I ask have you already given me, but I'm not aware of it. I very often am not aware that all that I seek and look for in truth has already been given. But when the hush of heaven holds my heart today and I realize that my true identity abides in you, Father, now I will have that recognition. The truth indeed will dawn upon me, and let that be today. And I am sure that I will see my happiness, my perfect happiness, my perfect present happiness today. And let us see that together, hand in hand, hand in hand. That's it for today. I hope it helped. Tomorrow we will have probably a longer video because we will be starting a new section, what is the real world, and a lesson. So like, share, subscribe, comment, pray that we indeed today have the recognition of the gifts, God's gifts, that are already in our mind and in our heart. Namaste.